Okay, so Dawn is down in Florida tonight. You guys got little old me here to kind of give you some information. He went down there with Brett Griffin, and I have been really supportive of that. I think that a little bit about what I'm going to talk about tonight is going to kind of cover what that means. And ironically funny, we get into this season of December, and I do find that Don himself has like this moment where he just feels this need to unplug. And I have to admit, for me, I don't work against it. I find like he comes back a better person when he unplugs a little bit here. So he had the opportunity to go down and see our Winnipeg Jets, which are number one right now, playing down in Miami, and then he's following that up with another game in Tampa because they're back-to-back. So him and Brett Griffin went down there, and I hope they'll have a great time. If any of you guys plug into us on Team Gets Results or on our Facebook pages, I believe that you would have seen some pictures of Dawn and Brett getting pedicures. So they are truly unplugging. It's one of Dawn's favorite little luxuries that he likes to do when he goes down there. They treat him really well, and it makes him feel very special. And so I love that he has gotten to the point where he can enjoy those indulgences because he never used to when we first met. And I love that he's also shared that with some of our team members, and some of them, lots of them being gentlemen, one of them being Brett, Mike King, Neil King. They all went down and were involved in that too. So, and Donnie B. Anyways, back to my subject matter. Dawn and I were talking a little bit on our training that we did for the Monday morning wake-up call, and we were talking about a reset and what I had done. And the thing that I had done when I had my negativity reset was that I said that I plugged the word motivation into my cell phone. I never really went into detail about what that meant. And so I thought I would just explain a little bit and some sources of what motivates you. I want to know what motivates you. So when we're done the call here a little bit today, maybe you can think about it. What motivates you? What maybe you have something that can add to my list, or something that just really resonates for you. Maybe I motivate you. Maybe I'm the person that does that, or Dawn is the person that does that. That's great that you have somebody to plug into like that. For me, I know Dave Jordan is a great source for me to plug into. He's very motivating. He's an incredible visionary. And so some of the sources that I plug into are, of course, books, because you have the personal growth that goes along. The one I'm reading right now is from the author of The Secret, and it's called The Key. I just started it, so I'm just new into it. I'm not going to get to the point where I actually tell anybody to read it because I'm not sure how I feel yet. I'm not there. Another great source, and these are just off of the top of my head. This is not from a list. This was just thinking of places where I plug into. I know I love videos. I plug into Ray Higdon, and YouTube is a great source for that. Last night I had the opportunity of listening to Lisa Grossman. She was on a late night live, and I absolutely loved her when I saw her at GoPro. She really resonated with me. She is just such an intellectual woman, and I really love her message. And so videos are a great place to plug into. Quotes, Pinterest, inspirational quotes. All you have to do is go on to Brainy Quote and read along and find the words that speak to you. When I was talking about people, John Ramza is another great one, Dave Jordan, some of the people that are in our team that are just on fire. When someone's on fire, plug into that. That's contagious. Passion is just as contagious as negativity. So plug into the people that are on your team that are on fire, because there is nothing more motivating than plugging into somebody who is passionate. I have Don Carson messaging me. Oh, he's listening. There we go. I said people, events, the Valentus calls, the weekly webinars, the things that you can plug into, those are great sources. Facebook pages that have the testimonials, Prevail Max, Valentus Builders, Best Weight Loss Secrets, those are great sources of motivation for you. Plugging into some of the Facebook Lives when you're listening to them can really fill your heart. Volunteering is another great place for you to fill your heart and motivate you to do more. Instagram is another source, and so I kind of created a list here tonight of places and things that can motivate you. And it's not really, I gave you a few sources there off of the top of my head, but this list is something that I actually took off of online. I went online and I found some information, and I kind of just molded it into what I believe and how I feel. And that's the way I like to do things, is just personalize them. So one of the items on my motivation list for you is the word necessity. And what does that mean to you? To me, necessity is the bills that you have to pay, that need to be paid, and the people that you have counting on you. That can pull from many people's why. I've heard lots and lots of people say, I can never quit. I can never, ever stop doing what I'm doing. I can never stop working as hard as I'm working because my baby girl depends on me, or because my baby boy depends on me, or because my somebody special in my life depends on me. So to have those people, or to just need to get by, to need that more money, necessity can be an incredible motivator. When you need to get bills paid or you're not making ends meet, that can be an incredible motivator. So necessity is my number one on my list of motivators, because I think it's often overlooked. There's a lot of people out there that have necessity as their number one reason as to why they have to stay motivated. My number two reason for having to stay motivated is personal pride. We don't usually publicly talk about it, but when you do a really good job and you've done it well, it's very satisfying. When you help someone succeed and therefore you help yourself succeed, personal pride can be very, very motivating. I know that when Dawn and I speak at an event and people come up to us afterwards and something we have said has resonated with them, that motivates us to be better, to up our game, to bring more to the table, to have more value for everyone. So to me, a thing that would motivate you would be personal pride. That's a close number two. My number three that I wrote down here for my list is a mission to change the world. And I know that might be grandiose, and I talk about a wellness revolution, but Dawn and I speak often about our aha moment from being in traditional business and realizing that there was a better way. We never really thought about it as powerfully as we did when we came so close to not being able to get up the next day and realizing, what are our kids going to do? How are they going to keep all of the things that we have accumulated without the cash flow? And the power of residual income for us when we had our boating accident was emphasized. And since then, I've looked a little bit more into it, and it's our amazing products and our incredible testimonials that are changing people's lives for the better. And I recently did an interview with Deb, and she had asked me my mission statement. And I thought about it because I'd actually read a few mission statements. I'm always just punching things in on the Google. Yes, I'm on the Google, punching things in there and looking for different values that I can bring to people or things that pop into my head. And mission statements was one of them. And one that resonated with me when I went to GoPro was Richard Branson. And he said his mission statement was to have fun in his journey through life and to learn from his mistakes. And from that day forward, I've sort of stole it. I love that. I think that there's a lot to be said there. So a mission to change the world, a wellness revolution is my number three on things of my list to motivate you. My number four is quotes, inspirational words. Dawn was talking about what are the words that are in your head, because they can drag you out of a funk, and you don't have to know which one is going to work with you. It can happen completely organically. I find for me, I read some of them. I just go on Brainy Quote or some of the other quotation places, Pinterest, and what talks to your heart that day? What really speaks to you that day? I know you guys have heard me say your vibe attracts your tribe, and Dawn and I, and each of us needs all of us, and the learning is in the doing. Those are powerful words. I know words for me that have been recent and have spoke volumes to me, and Dawn has just used it in references. It's not about me. Another one for me is to love yourself and feel strong. And the other one that I tell people all the time is you're in charge of how you feel. You're in charge of how you feel. And nobody can make you feel anything that you don't let them. And for me, today and every day, I try. I'm not always successful, but I try and choose happiness. There was one quote that was sent to me by one of our team members, and it resonated with me. And I just thought I'd take this opportunity to read it quickly. And it was, and one day she discovered that she was fierce and strong and full of fire, and that not even she could hold herself back because her passion burned brighter than her fears. Those words just made me want to be a better me. And I think that's all you could ever want out of life, is to be a better version of who you are. So find your words. Find them in a quote. Find them in wherever you have to get them. Whatever words speak to you, find them and plug into them. Write them down in places that are important to you. Make them your screensaver on your computer or on your phone, whatever you need that helps you in that moment where you're giving yourself that negative self-talk, that you can plug into it. My next one on my list for positivity and motivation is events. Events are incredible. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people stokes your fire, your imagination, your belief, and your passion. I love when Peggy DeSalle says, and we trying to describe how these incredible events happen, and she says, it's like trying to get a haircut over the phone. You just can't do that. You have to be in that moment, that amazing feeling, the like-mindedness of being at a rock concert, let's say, or your favorite musician, and everyone beside you is singing the words to your favorite song. That is being part of something. That is being involved with something. That is incredibly motivating. Or for all you guys that are out there, when you're at your sporting event and maybe it's a hockey team or a football team and they do something really amazing or incredible and you're standing there with all these other guys that are also fans and you guys are looking at each other and high-fiving each other. That's the energy that happens at these events. That's the magical thing. It resets goals in people, seeing other people walking across the stage and being successful. It's just, it makes you want to push forward and not fall behind, and I can't think of anything that's more motivating than seeing that success and wanting it so bad for yourself. So these are things that you can help to motivate you. Another one is consider the alternative. I love this one. John Haremza always says this great line that he says comically when he was talking to his workmates when he was leaving his potato chip factory job, and they were heckling him about remembering or what's he going to do when he doesn't have a job. And he says, the worst case scenario that I have going out there and wanting this for myself is that I might have to come back here and do the same job that you guys are doing. And I love that, because when you consider the alternative, it makes you remember the reason you're working so hard. You recall your short list or your long list of the reasons that you're unhappy, whether it be working for a bad boss or building someone else's dream or having no freedom. It's an image that should be enough for you that keeps you plugged in and you reset your mind. And so considering the alternative is powerful motivation. Another motivating factor is to just show somebody. Show them. More people than what I thought focus on proving somebody wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, wanting to prove somebody wrong. It can be very motivating when somebody tells you that you can't do something. It makes you want it more than ever. That can be a huge motivating factor. The next one that I have on my list is a legacy. A legacy. How many people, I have to admit, when I was younger, I never thought about legacies or what I wanted to leave for the future. And I always say my legacy will be a good mother, a great friend, a loving wife. But the legacy in Valentus is this is a completely willable future that you can leave to your children. You can create a residual income that's a legacy. And Dawn always likes to say, choosing your future with your 4 people here. This is your lakefront property. This is what you plug into. This is your imagery. This is what you draw for your picture, your legacy. That is a powerful imagery for when you're looking for something that's motivational. And I just wanted to give you guys some tools today of what you can plug into. If you're feeling lackluster, plug into some of these ideas. Another one is to celebrate your attainable goals, whether it be a rank advancement, a share pool check, finding one of those amazing 4 leaders that you're looking for, or as simple as a personal goal of weight loss or personal development goal. Maybe you've finally finished that book that you've been reading a few sentences at a time, or a business advancement goal. Celebrate those. And that's what you plug into. It's very motivating when you finish a good book. There's so many people that run around when they've read something that's changed their mindset, and they want to tell everybody about it. But how do you start every sentence with, I just read this amazing book, right? But it can be very motivating to read the next book, and I bet you read the next one even faster. My next point that I wanted to point out, and this might not necessarily be something that you plug in to for motivation, but it is for me, is recognizing negativity. When you finally evolve to the power of being able to recognize that you are manifesting the negativity around you, it can be very empowering. Those moments where you need an energy shift and you need to plug into something positive and you're aware of it. And the worst case scenario, I always say, if you haven't got that immediate motion where you can have your energy shift, go have one of our incredible, amazing energy drinks, because it physically actually changes how you feel. I find I have more energy when I drink an energy drink, so that's got to put me in the right mindset. That's going to put me in the right motivation. So recognizing your negativity is on my list. This one's one that you guys have heard before. I'm sure you've heard it in lots of different aspects, whether it be in business or otherwise, is visualization. Just focusing on what your success will ultimately look like can motivate you to create your future. A great example of this, and people have them, is dream boards. Dream boards are an incredible way to plug in and visualize what you want. And when you make your dream board, don't just put a picture necessarily of a car. Put a picture of a car in the interior of the car, and maybe even a piece of the leather so that you can smell it. I think that awakening all of your senses is an important way to create your visualization. And I just think that it's super powerful for so many people. I know for me, the sense of smell is a powerful one for me. So I like to create that visualization with every sense that I can. So be very descriptive in that, because that is what you're going to plug into, that moment, that smell, that second, that want, that need, whatever you have to have is something that you can plug into for motivation. You really can. And meditation and yoga, those for me are part of visualization, because when you're connected to your surroundings and you're connected to your body, it gives you balance. It gives you motivation. So if you can visualize, and maybe yoga is a huge step for all of you. Don has done exactly one yoga class. I honestly think that it would be amazing for him. It would be really incredible for him. But baby steps, we'll get there. He'll get there. He'll get to the yoga. I think it's a powerful tool. Do you guys remember that picture in John Harems's book where there's the miner and he's digging for the diamonds? For me, my next motivational statement is that you're this close. You're so close. My highlighted words are you're so close. And a lot of entrepreneurs have that they're so close to that major breakthrough that's what carries them through. That's what keeps them digging. That's what keeps them making that phone call. That's what keeps them on their follow-up calls, is that they just know they're so close. You can see it when you're looking at your business volume. Plug into that. Know that you're so close. Visualize that breakthrough. And I did say the word breakthrough, and I am currently on a cleanse right now. I do love our breakthrough product. It is a great thing to do. I decided to do it just before Christmas because I know I'm going to do some terrible things to myself. So aren't we so lucky to have that in our toolbox that we can reset ourselves before we know we're going to do a bunch of bad things to our body and our flora in our stomach, having that breakthrough product. My next point for motivation is exercise. And I know our program isn't necessarily set up with exercise, and I love that, but exercise has been proven time and time again to help motivate people, clear their mind, refocus. I always say stop pushing the rope. Stop wanting it more than they do. Focus on what you can control, and your movement is a great place to start. So exercise is a great motivator. And when I say exercise, I'm not saying you got to go out there and pound the weights like some people. Just a brisk walk can really refocus. It can really get your mind in the right place. And if the exercise doesn't work, I'm the biggest proponent for more sleep or a mind dump. Just unplug. If you are talking on the phone to somebody and you are pushing the rope and you sound desperate and you need to unplug right there, right now, nobody wants to join that. That's not fun. Nobody wants to be on that team. Nobody wants to be where you're wanting it more than they want it. Just change your mindset and plug in to a more positive place. And sometimes it's just as simple as the world seems brand new after a nap. I know that might sound really crazy, but I remember reading something where Einstein said that when you're in dream state or REM state, that you solve all kinds of problems. So if exercise isn't working for you, then I suggest a nap or unplug or eat some chocolate or mind dump and watch a movie and then come back with a fresh start and hit your phone call list, because you're going to be so much more effective when you're motivated and you feel good and your words are good and you're not pushing the rope. So just remove yourself from that and recognize it. My next motivational point that I wanted to bring up was learning from your mistakes. Having things go wrong is not something you should be afraid of. I used to be afraid of it. I really, really did. I used to worry about what everyone else would think. I was worried about everything. It was frightening to me to do these things. Don was a really good guy, and he's a fabulous guy for pushing you past your line of feeling comfortable. And I find myself doing it now too. So get up, dust yourself off, learn from your experience and move on. It's powerful when you can conquer your fear. Laughter's a great cure here. If you fall down or you're on stage and you screw up your presentation, sometimes you got to suck a few times in order to be really, really proficient. There's nothing wrong with that. I always say the learning is in the doing, and every time it gets easier. And I have done nothing but learn from every mistake I've ever made. And I've gotten to the point in this life where I don't fear it as much. It's okay to fall down. It's okay. And it can be very motivating to learn from your mistakes. So I just wanted you to know that that is another motivating thing, because you're getting better. And when you can see that you're getting better, that's super motivating. And my next point is don't get in your own way. I know that that's a point, but it's a very motivating point. Simplicity is everything. There's so many circumstances out there that are beyond your control. So don't add to the list yourself. You can start this incredible business without learning every little thing. The simplicity of this program is just add water. All the same products are the same price. The company does most of the heavy lifting for you. We have this incredible new sample program. We have an incredible follow-up campaign with our drip program. If you don't have the words, you can utilize Ditto Talk. Use your tools. It's a point, click, and share company. You don't have to learn absolutely everything. Don't get in your own way. 3-way calls equal success. Keep it simple. or silly. That's something I've heard all the time. Keep it simple, silly. So KISS, don't get in your own way. That is an incredibly motivating factor, that you can do this business and you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everything out of the gate. Keep score. This is another great way. Keep score. Who's keeping score? Who's utilizing their DMO? Who is utilizing that tool? Dawn has gone to great lengths along with other leaders, falling down and having unsuccesses so that you can learn from their mistakes and have successes. Now, is an unsuccess the same as, I'm trying to think of the word you used on, I'm blanking right now. Anyways, insuccess, unsuccess. Use your DMO. Keep a running tally of what you've completed. See the numbers increase. Want them to increase. It can be great motivating when you see your numbers are getting better and better and that you're becoming less afraid of those things that you used to be afraid of. That keeping score is an incredible tool, and utilizing that DMO. I love this one. You keep telling yourself the best way to predict the future is to create it. So keep telling yourself the best way to predict the future is to create it. And then go create it. That's a motivating factor. You get to change your life. No one gets to do it for you. Tell yourself the best way to predict your future is to create it, and then go create it. My next point of plugging into for motivation, which I like, is don't reinvent the wheel. Others have already gone through this process. That's what I was telling you when I was saying keep the score. We've been there. We've been the pioneers. Plug into your upline. Don't push against this process. Trust in the process. No one's ever created a successful network marketing business alone. You can create a great customer base and even a living, but a dream-worthy residual income requires a team. You need to not be a lone wolf. We are in the shipping business, the relationship business. Create relationship capital. That is what you need to do. Don't reinvent the wheel. We are a belly-to-belly business. Go out there, prospect. Find the people. There's two things you need to do, prospect and marketing. That's all you need to do. Don't reinvent the wheel. Utilize the process. Trust in the process. And when all else fails, just keep swimming. Your productivity comes from your activity. And that is, just keep swimming is such a motivational statement. I know that before it was put one foot in front of the other. It's the same sort of story. I love that Disney just keep swimming, Finding Nemo. I have a bunch of different quotes in front of me from Brainy Quote. Every time I get on one of these, and that was my 30 minutes. Can you believe that? I have my little baking timer here. So is there anybody that wants to put their hand up? If you want to add something that you plug into for motivating at all. We've just got a couple of minutes here that we can finish off with, and I can unmute you. You can tell me what you like to do to plug into for motivation. And I hope you guys all got something of value out of what I brought today. I love plugging into motivating things. Here we go. You are off mute. And what is it that you find motivating? Hello, Randall, Saskatchewan.
Hi, Nancy. It's Lorena.
Hi, Lorena.
Mine's a little bit different, but maybe it's just because it's happened a few times to me.
Yeah.
And that is when I hear of somebody that has had a stroke. Let's say that's the last thing that happened, and I had not went far enough to be able to get them on board as a customer, which possibly could have saved that person from having a stroke if I would have introduced them to the MAC. So to me, to hear and see people who are still sick, who are needing our products, that motivates me.
That's like that wellness revolution point that I was talking about, right? Like our mission statement. I hear Peggy DeSalle say all the time, go out and share with the world. Shame on you if you don't share with the world, because she just really believes in our products and what we have here and our company and the fact that it's a better way. That's super motivating. That's super motivating, that if you could actually get somebody to try these products, that they could change their lives. Thanks so much, Lorraine, for coming on and giving me a point. I got another one here from Saskatoon. I'm going to mute you, Lorraine. And here we go, Saskatoon. Oh, what have I done here? I bet. Don Carson. Nope, I might have accidentally pulled that off. There you go. Is this Saskatoon? With my motivating factor of what motivates you? I'm terrible at this muting, unmuting. I'm sorry. Oh. Right here. Hello? Is this Dawn?
Yes, it is, Nancy. How are you?
I'm good. What have you got for a motivating thing that you like to plug into, other than me?
No, I'm just super excited. I wrote down a page and a half of notes and couldn't believe that 30 minutes went by as quick as it did. I congratulate you. This was an incredible call. Both Brett and I are sitting here shaking our head going, oh, my God, that was powerful. But I want to say I wrote down 2 nuggets that you motivated me on, and I got to share them because I wrote them down. # relationship shipping business. I love that. That's
we're
what we are.
We're in the shipping business. We're in the relationshiping business. Do you know who I got that from? You remember when we went to GoPro and I told you how Lisa Grossman spoke to me? Yeah. That's where I got that from, Lisa Grossman. So plug into those motivating videos. It's amazing the nuggets that you can steal. I did that at 4 o'clock in the morning last night after you left.
No, listen, I'm gonna let you finish up the call. And the other thing I wrote down was # find your balance, because that's kind of what you just did for me, is just writing all these notes. So, anyways, just want to say I love you, and close off the call. That was awesome.
Yeah, you guys have fun down there. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope that you got something of value out of what I was explaining tonight. And thank you so much for plugging in, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a lovely Wednesday evening. Bye-bye, everybody.